Well, I was only 17 when I took that Woodstock trip. I'd never seen the rock and roll like that before or since. Every time a rock star dies, I remember Woodstock and the cries. Could you tell me when the rains are gonna stop? I think of that place, that fateful day, every time an old rock star dies. Well, that's a little ditty I wrote about going to Woodstock in August of '69. Now that I look back on it in retrospect, it was really a wonderful experience because it was rock and roll. Just like I said in the song, I'd never seen the rock and roll like that before, and I've never seen it since. It was really just a one-of-a-kind event, and it pretty much changed my life. My buddy and I had heard that they were having a rock and roll pop festival, whatever you call it, in upstate New York somewhere. So we heard Hendrix is going to be there and all these other bands. Let's go. So I lied to my parents because I wasn't old enough to go anywhere, supposedly at that time. They let us off the bus and we had to walk, hell, I don't know, it was 10 or 20 miles, I guess, to the festival. And it rained the whole time we're walking there. And my buddy and I, we were cold and wet and thinking, what have we gotten ourselves into? Well, you know, after the sun was out a couple hours, you kind of dried out and felt a little bit better. And then, you know, everybody found on a space in front of the stage, this huge bowl, hundreds of thousands of people. I remember when, after the sun got out and everybody got out to, you know, get a place to watch the concert, I didn't know it was possible to get that many people in one spot at one time. It was just the freakiest thing I've ever seen. I guess maybe there was 400,000 or 500,000 people. Well, then the music started up. I can't remember who came on first, but I think maybe it was Santana. Whoever it was, man, once the music started going, wow, that was the place to be. And Santana came out and they played, and we saw a lot of bands that Saturday afternoon. Santana, Canned Heat, Grateful Dead got up and tried to play. Only 2 of them made it up. The rest of the band, they were too high or something to get up there, so they just gave it up. I think Mountain got up next, Leslie West and that bunch, and boy, they were good. Gosh, I can't remember who came on after Mountain. They went on into the night. It didn't rain anymore that Saturday. Well, about 2 o'clock in the morning, Tate and I had had enough. We were exhausted. You know, let's go, man. You know, so as we were leaving, I remember John Fogerty and Creedence Clearwater was playing, and they really sounded good. You know, Bad Moon, hey, Bad Moon, up an octave, of course. So, you know, that was pretty cool. Got to hear Creedence as we were leaving. It was wonderful and horrible all at the same time because you know, of the conditions. But now I look back on it and I think about it, and it was still horrible. No, it was wonderful too. You know, here I was at Woodstock with however many people were there, 500,000 at least, I guess, and a whole lot of us dreaming the same dream. You know, I imagine there were a lot of young musicians there going, man, I wish I could do something like that. And the really funny thing about it is, you know, we went there to see Jimi Hendrix. Well, Jimmy, he had several people playing with him, but the main guys were Billy Cox, the bass player from Nashville, Jimmy's old Army buddy, and Mitch Mitchell, of course, who was Jimmy's original drummer. So Noel Redding had left the group. Billy Cox joined. Mitch Mitchell was still there. So that's the main reason we went. Well, they didn't come on till way later. They were running behind the festival. I don't think they played till Monday morning. So we were too tired to hang around and see that, although that's the main thing we wanted to see. Well, the irony is, about 3 years later, I ended up getting to play in a band with Billy Cox. It was just a little piece of fate or destiny, whatever you want to call it, and got to room with him. And when I realized I was playing a little while with the Charlie Daniels band, when I realized that Charlie was going to hire Billy and that we were going to be rooming together, I just couldn't believe it. And now I think back on it, I still can't believe it. Billy, I love you, dude. I had the privilege of meeting Mitch Mitchell just a few short weeks before he passed on, and then I really felt the need to write the song after that, because it was a real thrill getting to meet him. So I had already known and loved Billy Cox, and then just the one night that I got to hang out a little bit with Mitch Mitchell when Billy introduced us, I felt like I'd known him for years. He just had a wonderful personality. And so that really, when I had heard he had passed on in a hotel room in, I think it was Portland, Oregon, oh, I was just heartbroken. And I thought, you know, I've got to record this song, because that's kind of what it's about. It's about all the great rockers that have, you know, passed on, and they've left us this wonderful legacy, this wonderful music, and their legacy for the rest of us to appreciate the rest of our lives. So that's pretty much what made me get around to recording the song. Thank you, Mitch. God bless you.